Hi, and welcome to Cougar Catchup, a student-led production that aims to bring you the best stories from around campus. I'm your host, Jacob Luzader, proud to bring you the first ever episode of our show. Kicking off our collection of stories is a student profile on one of Saint Xavier's best and brightest. A great soccer player and a community activist, this story by Giselle Almazan gives us an insider's look at the daily life of a college athlete. So join us as we take a walk around campus in Kicking It with Dania.
Many people think student athletes are people who go to school and play their sport. Dania Abidrabu proves to be the exception. Dania plays as a midfielder on the women's soccer team at Saint Xavier. We met up with Dania at Coffee Cats to learn more on what she does.
This is my favorite barista ever. Best drinks, hands down. Save the turtle's butt. Gotta get the straw, sorry.
We sat down with Dania to ask about her future career plans.
Right after I graduate, I hope to be in law school. I hope to start fall 2023. I would like to pursue civil rights and immigration, like I said. I am an immigrant myself, so the immigration attorney thing kind of hits home. Also for civil rights, I am, like I said, a student activist here on campus. I really like to stand up for injustice. I feel like everybody should receive the exact amount of rights, so that's something why I want to pursue it.
But Dania isn't just a soccer player. She's also involved in the Student for Justice in Palestine, Muslim Student Association, Psychology Club, and Political Science Forum at Saint Xavier.
I would definitely say my work ethic and my involvement at Saint Xavier definitely makes me different than any other athlete. You know, where my talent doesn't get me, my work ethic definitely does. I would say that definitely the one that has the biggest impact on me is the Students for Justice in Palestine. I am an immigrant and I am from Palestine as well, and with everything going on with the wars, this definitely touches home. Coming to America, not knowing the language or having any family here, it just kind of sparks those memories back home.
As a minority and woman in sports, Dania has been faced with adversities and stereotypes for being an athlete, but is proud of how far she has come.
I try to break those stereotypes one at a time, say that yes, we do exist. I am a woman in sport at College University. To be an activist on campus as well, that really does impact me a lot. It also brings out the best in my character. I would definitely say it's a lot on the plate. It's a lot on the plate to have all of those, be an athlete and go to school as well. But it's cool, it's a great feeling to know that you're doing something, to be active on campus, to be an activist on campus as well. Women in sports already face a lot of challenges. Being a person of color and a woman in sport, it's like double the trouble. Being told that you're not good enough, being told that you have to fit a certain criteria, it's a lot. Especially being Muslim, being an Arab, we're kind of shadowed or persuaded in the media that we're oppressed, we're not allowed to do a lot of things, but here we are once again breaking those generations of stereotyping women.
The Great Gatsby, a staple of 20th century literature and classrooms across the United States, has now become a piece of Saint Xavier history. Putting together their first production since the 1970s, the SXU Drama Club has reclaimed their place on the stage. A story 50 years in the making, Diamond Moore takes us behind the scenes of their production in A Return to the Spotlight.
For first-year students, Juliana, Nula, and Maya, creating the SXU Drama Club has been a dream come true. But although the Drama Club is a family, each member has a special story that makes their experience unique.
I think it was definitely a lot of growth. We definitely started off like very rocky. We weren't sure what we were doing. But we've had a lot of support from different parts of the school, not just students, but faculty and staff. So it's just been having to overcome a lot of obstacles and being able to grow. That's been like the best part of the experience of creating this.
Honestly, it's a big learning curve, I think, for all three of us. We did theater all throughout high school, but that's a very different experience than running a little theater company. And it's been a lot, I think, for all of us, but also super, super amazing. Like, we've all grown so much.
The drama club works hard during the academic school year to produce 2 plays and also organize smaller events on the side. However, deciding which play to produce necessitates considerable thought and debate. This year's production will be a stage adaptation of F. Scott Fitzgerald's classic novel, The Great Gatsby.
So The Great Gatsby actually in 2020, I believe, was entered into the public domain, meaning that we did not have to pay licensing fees to put on this show. And being a drama club that just started because there hasn't been a show done here since the 70s, we didn't have a lot of funds. So Gatsby, it was free, people know it, it's a beautiful story, and that's why we picked it. It just really resonated with all of us.
I mean, I think all three of us have gone through our own respective Great Gatsby phases in our lives. And it was stories that were so close to all three of us, and a story that we all loved so much. And we knew that we would be able to get an audience who was excited about it as we were. So like writing it was such a natural process.
For every drama club member, it is important to them that XXU students know that they are welcome to join the family, whether it is for makeup, backstage management, acting, or costume design. This allows each student to shine and demonstrate their abilities in a variety of ways.
We want them to know that this is a welcoming environment. It is more than just things that we're passionate about, like acting or directing, stage design. It's a place where people can just come to express themselves, and a place where there's a lot of people who don't think they can do theater, and they come to this environment and they realize that there's a talent that they have that they didn't know about before.
Music! And then we can dance all night. The way he looked at her was the way that all girls want to be looked at. You come old sport. We need you. I wish it could always be like this.
I think acting is such a personal experience to everyone, and being an actor is such an incredible thing to like put yourself in another character's shoes. And regardless of whether or not you have acting experience, I think that anyone can try it. Anyone can have a role in theater, and we want it to get welcoming for everyone.
It is a whole new way to connect with people because you don't have to act to be a part of the club. You can do crew, you can run with makeup or do our tech designs. So it's a whole new way to connect with everyone, and it's a way for you to find something new that you like or just to have something to do.
Although Hollywood may convince you otherwise, archaeology isn't just hidden temples and dinosaur bones. In an interview with one of Saint Xavier's very own, we dig into the reality of archaeology and cultural anthropology. In a story that challenges the way we view our past, this piece by Dania D gives us an expert's perspective on whether our history is truly set in stone.
I sat down with Dr. Iman Saca, a cultural anthropologist and archaeologist, at her very own office here at SXU. So, how has your life, or like your perspective on life, changed because of archaeology or anthropology?
That's a really big question. Archaeology is definitely a science, and I do a lot with archaeology, but something changed a little bit in my trajectory, my career trajectory. So I went on an excavation in Syria. And I think the people around the site, the local Syrians, were so curious about what we were doing. We never really got them involved, or they were not part of the plan at all when we went to that excavation. So we had all the official papers, but the neighbors of the site were really not aware of what we were doing. So that really made me more aware about how archaeology should connect to the local community. So it's not only us as scientists going there, digging a site, taking all the information and analyzing it and publishing it, but how does our work influence the local people that we basically were digging in their backyard. So how does our work influence what they think, what they believe, how much do they want to be involved, and how we can involve them. But every time now I do field archaeology, I add that component of community engagement within archaeological excavation, and I call that community archaeology.
Her academic journey from Palestine to the United States was fully fueled by her passion, hard work, and her supportive parents. How has your identity as a Palestinian, not only as a Palestinian but as a Palestinian woman, affected your experiences in this field of archaeology and anthropology?
Thank you for asking that question. Actually, that's an important question because there are very few women in archaeology in general. Actually, that's one of the problems in the field. It was a male-dominated field. In terms of the Middle East region, there's even less women who are archaeologists. Actually, when I graduated, I was the first Palestinian woman to do a Ph.D. in prehistory. It's a difficult field. It's a very scientific field, and not a lot of people are interested in studying stone tools, but I absolutely love them. So it was difficult on multiple levels. Palestinians were not, I don't want to use the term allowed to, but close to that, studying archaeology. So it's a challenge in general being a Palestinian, but it's also a double challenge being a Palestinian as a woman as well. What's intriguing is my field experiences have been really wonderful. So when I worked in Qatar, which is a conservative community, I was really accepted by the Qataris. I think they appreciate education. For them, it was a big deal that I was a woman with a Ph.D. So I feel that they have welcomed me in that level. So even when I worked in Qatar, in Jordan, or in Syria, it was very welcoming. But the field itself is a bit challenging because there's not a lot of women in the field of archaeology.
What do you have to say for those women who want, or Palestinian women who want to be in the field? Do you have any advice for them?
Absolutely do it. If it's a passion, do it. It's an exciting field. There's a lot of contribution. This field is exciting. This field is kind of new and it's ever changing. So I think there's a lot to do as an anthropologist in this world. There's a lot to do as an archaeologist, especially in anthropology. For me, I see it as bridging the gap between cultures. Seeing the uniqueness about each culture and bringing that to the forefront. And today more than ever, we need the bridging the gap between peoples and cultures. Archaeology can even help solve problems that we're facing today. I mean, I know it's about learning about past cultures, but we can learn from their past experiences and even apply it to today. A lot of people are trying to connect to who they are, and I think archaeology is a field that connects people to their ancestors and their cultural identity and who they are. So it's, we're always going to talk about this in class. People feel like some of these archaeological objects reflect who their ancestors are. So there's a lot of political and social contention regarding some archaeology and regarding who owns the past. And that's something that's a course I brought to Saint Xavier and that I teach. It's called Who Owns the Past, and it's about ownership of archaeology.
With a 76% increase in listeners since 2018, podcasting has become a premier avenue for novice and experienced creators alike. Amongst this growing group of independent creators are two of Saint Xavier's very own. A story that explores the ins and outs of on-campus content creation, this story by Murad Diab gives us an in-depth interview at what takes place behind the microphone in Cougar Creators.
TJ Franklin is a junior here at Saint Xavier University and the host of his very own podcast, For Your Good.
We talk about helping people understand their purpose, their calling in life, encourage them daily, let them know that they're not alone. A lot of the issues we go through, we think that we're alone with. We think that we're the only ones facing it, but you'd be surprised. And so I just kind of have this show to open up discussions for that, for your good.
All right. Now, I know trying to be consistent over a long period of time can really just drain the energy out of somebody. So how do you find your motivation? How do you stay on track?
God has a source for everything. But another motivation would be to know that there's somebody out there that needs me to do what I do. I don't know who that may be or what that may entail, but I know that every day I wake up, somebody's gonna probably be encouraged or inspired by what I may say or do. And that's just a motivational factor for me to get up every day.
Righty. So you're a junior here and you have a little time to think before you enter the job market. How do you feel, given your skill set, given your interests, how do you feel about your job prospects once you graduate?
I feel very confident. I feel like SXU equipped me to be very versatile within video and audio. So there's no like one type of thing I can do. I can do both and different avenues of that. So I believe they prepared me to go any route that the world may need of me. So yeah.
How do you stay so positive?
I really stay focused on God, but at the same time, another thing is to really zone in on who you are. When you focus on too many outside factors, that causes for depression and anxiety. But if you're just focused on who am I and what am I meant to do, it helps your mind stay on track and it helps it stay pure. And I think that's what helps me stay positive, as well as praying every single day.
And what advice would you offer to any other aspiring student content creators?
I know it sounds like a cliche, but be yourself. We have a lot of people trying to be other people and not being in their lane. And I think that when you find out who you are, you find out what you're meant to do and meant to kind of create, whatever that may be. So that's my advice, and to stay consistent.
Mike Rivera is a senior here at Saint Xavier University. He also runs the Instagram page all_Star Wars, a Star Wars themed news page with over 181,000 followers.
My Instagram page, I basically created it I wanted to get involved with the Star Wars community, decided that I wanted to, everyone, the population for Star Wars pages was kind of growing when Disney bought Star Wars because they kind of revived the franchise. But I wanted to do a different spin on it. Everyone else was just posting probably just like collages of pictures and scenes from the movies, but I wanted to take a different angle with it and go for a news spin.
And how has being here specifically at Saint Xavier helped you create your type of content?
Saint Xavier has helped a lot because, as I said, I've just taken a more professional stance on the things that I put out there, and I definitely think the school and all the classes and instructors like Pete have showed me that there are different tools to use that I can utilize to give more of a, like I said, professional look, and I've been able to bring also different types of purposes into what I'm doing.
And what advice would you give a student here on campus who wants to start creating their own content?
My advice to anyone that wants to create content, I would definitely say have a purpose. Because if you just go out there and let's say you want to do like a Harry Potter podcast or something like that, or you just want to just have a page just covering maybe like all the entertainment news out there or whatever, just definitely before you create that page, have a purpose. Set yourself some goals. Maybe that's a follower count you want to hit. Maybe that's just something that you want to do for yourself personally, but just make sure you have a goal.
So as you can see, St. Xavier is more than just a place to get a great education. It's also an amazing hub of creativity and collaboration.
And that concludes our episode. We hope you enjoyed our stories. If you did, leave a like and a comment and give us some feedback on how to make the show better. A big thanks to our cast and crew for helping put together these stories, and an even bigger thanks to our professor, Pete Creighton, for giving us this amazing opportunity. It was a ton of fun to put together this production. Thank you for tuning in, and we hope to see you next time. This has been Cougar Catchup.